The CIA spent millions investigating what happens when you die, and their findings are chilling. In declassified files, they chased the edge of consciousness, training minds to see across continents, to touch realms beyond the body. Why would spies, not mystics, probe the afterlife? What did they uncover that made them take it so seriously? Picture a hospital room. A heart stops, yet a patient later recalls a nurse's actions, details they couldn't know. Thousands report this: tunnels, lights, lives replayed with uncanny clarity. These aren't just stories, they're documented by doctors, scientists, even intelligence agencies. Real CIA reports from 1983 describe consciousness as a hologram, unbound by time or space. Military programs tested psychic sight with results that stunned skeptics. Across cultures from Virginia to India, near-death accounts align. Timelessness, unseen presences, a connection to something vast. Universities, like Virginia's Division of Perceptual Studies, have tracked thousands of cases where people, clinically dead, knew things they shouldn't. These patterns echo what the government explored in secret, questions too big for science alone. We're not here to sell you answers. We're opening a door to what's real, what's verified, what's still unexplained. From government archives to peer-reviewed studies, the evidence builds toward a truth that challenges everything. Each moment of this journey peels back another layer, leading to a final revelation that could shift how you see reality itself. Stay with us, because what they found might rewrite everything you think you know about death. If you like exploring these types of questions, please subscribe. Welcome to Beyond Reality. In 1983, a declassified CIA document landed on desks with a title that didn't belong in a spy agency: Analysis and Assessment of Gateway Process. This wasn't about missiles or espionage, it was about consciousness, how far the human mind could reach beyond the body. The CIA, known for cold pragmatism, funded experiments to explore altered states, driven by a private institute in Virginia called the Monroe Institute. There, researchers developed hemi-sync, a technique using sound waves to align the brain's hemispheres. Imagine stereo headphones pulsing two slightly different frequencies, one in each ear, creating a third phantom rhythm that guides your mind into deep, meditative states. The goal? To unlock awareness that could see beyond walls, beyond time itself. The Gateway Process report reads like science meeting mysticism. It describes consciousness as a vibrating energy resonating with the Earth's own pulse, a frequency around 7 Hz. By syncing brainwaves to this rhythm, people reported vivid experiences, out-of-body sensations, glimpses of a universal pattern, a hologram where every piece holds the whole. The document leans on physicists like David Bohm, who saw reality as an interconnected field, and Itzhak Bentov, who linked neural pulses to quantum leaps. The CIA took this seriously enough to test it, training subjects to enter states where time felt fluid, where intuition spoke louder than logic. Some saw distant places, others sensed presences beyond explanation. These experiments didn't prove an afterlife, but they probed its edges. Subjects described moments of timeless clarity, echoing what near-death survivors report: tunnels, lights, a sense of knowing. The report even suggests consciousness might slip past physical death, interacting with a reality unbound by space. Why would the CIA care? Because if the mind could access hidden knowledge, it could change everything: intelligence, survival, even what it means to be human. Yet the document admits limits. No one fully left their body in controlled tests. Still, the fact that spies chased this at all raises questions. If the CIA saw enough to keep going, what else did they uncover? Other programs, other secrets, built on this foundation. But the CIA wasn't the only agency chasing this. What the US military did next was even stranger. The next layer of this story takes us to a military project that pushed the boundaries further, where trained minds tried to see what no satellite could. The answers they found only deepened the mystery. While the CIA probed consciousness with sound waves, the US military took a bolder leap. In the 1970s, a classified program called Project Stargate emerged, fueled by Cold War fears and a strange hope. Could the human mind see what satellites couldn't? At Stanford Research Institute and Fort Meade, trained operatives, ordinary people, not mystics, were taught to remote view, to describe distant places using only their thoughts. Ingo Swann, a key figure, developed a method to sketch targets from coordinates alone. The results? Sometimes astonishing. Pat Price, a former cop, described a secret Soviet missile site, cranes, silos, fences, later confirmed by satellite imagery. Joe McMoneagle, an Army officer, pinpointed a downed Soviet bomber in Africa, aiding its recovery. These weren't guesses. Declassified files show matches too precise for chance. Stargate ran for over 2 decades, costing millions, backed by the Defense Intelligence Agency. Viewers reported more than locations. Some sensed timelessness, unseen presences, or knowledge flowing from nowhere. Sensations echoing near-death accounts of tunnels or cosmic unity. A 1995 review found a small but real effect, with successes 15% above chance. Yet the program faltered. Many sessions produced vague images, useless for spies. Critics pointed to flaws, hints given to viewers, biased judges. Still, the military kept going, testing faces, hidden objects, even the Lockerbie bombing. Why persist if it didn't work? Because when it did, it defied explanation. These experiences mirror what the CIA's gateway process chased, a mind unbound by distance, tapping into a universal field. Physicists like David Bohm, referenced in those files, saw reality as a hologram where every part holds the whole. Remote viewers, like near-death survivors, describe moments of knowing beyond the body, as if consciousness could reach across space, maybe time. Stargate didn't prove an afterlife, but its patterns, timelessness, unseen observers, hint at something deeper than espionage. The military shut Stargate down in 1995, calling it unreliable. Yet those accurate hits linger, raising questions. If trained minds could see hidden truths, what else might consciousness do? Beyond the government's walls, scientists were asking similar questions, not with spies, but with people who'd brushed death itself. Their findings, grounded in decades of data, take us even closer to the edge of reality. Beyond the classified world of spies, a quieter search unfolds in university halls. At the University of Virginia's Division of Perceptual Studies, researchers like Bruce Grayson have spent decades cataloging thousands of near-death experiences, moments when people, hearts stopped, return with stories too vivid to dismiss. A Dutch cardiologist, Pim van Lommel, tracked 344 cardiac arrest patients. 18% saw tunnels, radiant lights, or their lives replayed with crystalline detail. One described a nurse placing his dentures on a cart, a fact he couldn't know, later verified by hospital staff. Another, in a separate study, recalled machine bleeps 3 minutes after clinical death, when the brain should be silent. These accounts aren't isolated. From India to Brazil, across ages and faiths, the patterns hold. A sense of leaving the body, meeting unseen presences, feeling timelessness or cosmic unity. Grayson's data shows these memories are sharper than dreams, packed with sensory and emotional weight. Van Lommel found no link to drugs or oxygen loss. Consciousness seemed to act alone. This echoes the CIA's gateway process, where synchronized brainwaves touched a universal hologram, and Project Stargate's remote viewers, who sensed knowledge beyond their senses. Both hint at awareness unbound by flesh. Academics like Van Lommel argue the brain doesn't create consciousness but channels it, like a radio tuned to a signal. This aligns with theories from physicists like Roger Penrose, who see quantum processes in neurons linking to a non-local reality. Across cultures, near-death survivors describe a shared landscape, entities, light, a life review, mirroring the timeless states spies trained to reach. Virginia's studies even document children recalling past lives, details verified by records, suggesting memory might outlast the body. These findings don't prove an afterlife, but they challenge the idea that consciousness dies with the brain. The patterns are too consistent, the data too rigorous to ignore. Government experiments and academic labs converge on the same question. What if awareness reaches further than we've been told? As we step into the final piece of this journey, these threads, science, secrets, and human stories weave into a single, haunting possibility that could reshape how you see everything. A pulse of light lingers in a patient's memory, sharp as reality, defying a silent brain. A soldier sketches a hidden base, unseen by eyes, yet confirmed by steel and stone. Across oceans and centuries, voices speak of timeless realms, of knowing what lies beyond the body's cage. These aren't just stories, they're echoes from declassified files and university labs, whispering the same truth. Consciousness might stretch further than we've dared to dream. Spies chased it with sound waves, syncing minds to a universal rhythm. Scientists tracked it in those who brushed death, finding patterns too vivid, too consistent, to be mere chance. Even quantum theories suggest our awareness could touch a field where time and space dissolve. This isn't about certainty, it's about standing at the edge of what we know, feeling the pull of something vast. The documents, the data, the human experiences, they all point to a reality where you are more than flesh, more than a moment. What if your mind right now is already part of something infinite? This question isn't meant to be answered today. It's meant to live in you, to stir the quiet spaces where curiosity breathes. Share what moves you, what keeps you awake. Comment what you believe. Does consciousness end with death, or are we just beginning to understand what we truly are? If you found this as mind-blowing as I did, hit subscribe. We dive into mysteries like this every week. And don't go anywhere. The algorithm's about to recommend 2 videos you'll love. Pick one and keep going deeper. Thanks for watching.